In 1977, Exxon's own scientists confirmed in writing that burning fossil fuels would destroy the global climate within a generation. And then the company spent the next 40 years and $30 million making sure that finding never reached you. They knew, and they buried it. So why has no one ever told you this? Because the full story was never supposed to get out. Exxon was the gold standard, the most profitable company on Earth for most of the 20th century. A brand synonymous with American industrial might, the kind of corporation featured in business school case studies for its engineering rigor and scientific credibility. When the oil crisis hit in the 70s, Exxon didn't retreat. It doubled down on research, building one of the most sophisticated corporate science divisions in the world. They weren't hiding from the future. They were funding it. That was the image. That was the story. Every word of it was true. And they used every word of it as cover. In 1977, a scientist named James Black was Exxon's top internal expert on carbon dioxide. He didn't present his findings to a junior committee. He stood in front of the company's management committee, the room where decisions actually got made, and delivered a single conclusion. Continued burning of fossil fuels would raise global temperatures by 2 to 3 degrees Celsius within 50 years. That number doesn't sound dramatic. It is catastrophic. It means coastal cities underwater. It means crop failures at scale. It means the global systems that modern civilization depends on begin to break down. Exxon didn't dismiss him. They funded him. Through the late 70s and into the early 80s, Exxon deployed a research tanker called the Atlantic, fitted with cutting-edge instruments to measure CO2 absorption in the ocean. They ran their own climate models. By 1982, their internal documents confirmed everything Black had said and projected worse outcomes than his initial presentation. The company had the data. The science was settled. Inside Exxon in 1982, climate change was not a debate. It was a conclusion. Then something changed. In 1983, Exxon began quietly winding down its climate research program. The Atlantic monitoring project was discontinued. Internal memos from that period show leadership explicitly discussing how to suppress findings that could expose the company to regulatory action. They weren't panicking. They were strategizing. By 1988, when NASA scientist James Hansen testified before Congress and put climate change on the front page for the first time, Exxon was ready. Not to acknowledge what they knew, to fight it. They helped found the Global Climate Coalition, a lobbying group built specifically to cast doubt on climate science. The same science their own researchers had confirmed a full decade earlier. They didn't just know. They knew, and they built the machine to bury it. But that's not even the part they really didn't want out. Between 1998 and 2014, ExxonMobil, formed after Exxon's merger with Mobil, funneled more than $30 million to organizations whose sole purpose was manufacturing public doubt about climate science. Think tanks, front groups, contrarian researchers, entire institutions built not to study the climate, but to confuse the public conversation long enough for Exxon to extract maximum value from its reserves. Here is what $30 million bought: 2 decades of stalled policy, 2 decades during which global CO2 emissions didn't slow, they accelerated. The years between 1988 and 2010 represent the largest single window of lost time in climate history. Scientists who had the data, politicians who could have acted, a public that never got the full picture. And behind all of it, the fingerprints of a company that had run the numbers in 1977 and decided profit was worth more than the truth. The people who built this strategy were not low-level operators. Lee Raymond, Exxon's CEO from 1993 to 2005, publicly and repeatedly called climate science uncertain and politically motivated, while presiding over internal research that said the exact opposite. He retired in 2005 with a compensation package worth $400 million, the largest CEO exit package in corporate history at the time. $400 million. Let that sit for a second. No criminal charges, no meaningful regulatory penalty. Several state attorneys general launched investigations in 2015 after Inside Climate News published Exxon's internal documents. New York, Massachusetts, California. The cases dragged through courts for years. ExxonMobil's legal team, some of the most expensive lawyers in the world, fought every subpoena, every deposition, every document request. New York's case was dismissed in 2019. The judge ruled that while Exxon may have misled investors, the state hadn't proved fraud. Not they didn't do it, just you didn't prove it well enough. Massachusetts remained unresolved. California sued in 2023. No verdict, no accountability. The legal system, the one that exists to protect the public interest, has so far protected the company that buried the public's future for profit. ExxonMobil is still one of the most profitable corporations on Earth. The executives who designed the denial campaign retired wealthy. The think tanks they funded still publish. The doubt they manufactured still circulates in policy debates happening right now, today, in rooms where decisions about your future are being made. The internal documents exist. The memos are public. The timeline is confirmed. And the question nobody has answered, not a court, not a regulator, not a single government, is this. If a company can know, bury, and profit from a secret that affects every living person on Earth and face no real consequence for it, what exactly is the system protecting?